We have a world-renowned pediatric dermatologist joining us in just a moment to share more about the skin, the wonderful skin, and how we can take care of it even better. And there is Dr. Browning. And Doctor, what led you to become a pediatric dermatologist?
Well, I tell people I took the long road to get to where I'm at because I actually did a full pediatric residency before going into dermatology. So that was a 3-year residency I did in Houston at Texas Children's Hospital. And when I was there, Texas Children's, it's the largest children's hospital in the country, and I saw that there was such a need for people to take care of skin disease. We often got patients in the hospital with all kinds of skin rashes. I did a continuity clinic for 3 years with a pediatrician who struggled treating skin disease. So I knew I had my calling, and so thankfully I was able to then switch over to dermatology at the end of my pediatric residency and do another 3 years in dermatology, and then finally a 1-year fellowship, and that's what led me to pediatric dermatology.
Well, Doctor, you've certainly become world-renowned, and when it comes to the skin, how complex is it?
You know, who would think that something like the skin could cause as many problems as it does? And yet, people with atopic dermatitis, they're embarrassed because people see their skin and they think, you know, what's wrong? Are you contagious? You know, what do you have? Why are you scratching all the time? You know, why do you have cuts and cracks? Why do you look tired all the time? So that's definitely a big issue. And as people get older and their skin, you know, if you're not treating that atopic dermatitis, you may see color changes in the skin. It may affect your pigmentation. And again, you're dealing with just people asking you, what's wrong with you? They get nosy.
Unfortunately, they do, don't they? But with that said, Doctor, what is the call to action today?
Well, I'm here today because I've partnered with Dermavant Sciences to raise awareness of a recent survey. And in this survey, looking at 502 adult patients with atopic dermatitis and 510 caregivers or parents of kids with atopic dermatitis, we found many interesting things, but the most interesting is that itch is the #1 complaint that people have with atopic dermatitis. The itch can be so severe that it can lead to sleepless nights. And many of these patients mentioned on the survey that they have up to 4 nights of bad sleep a week because of their atopic dermatitis.
My goodness. And Dr. Browning, what gives a patient hope with this diagnosis?
Well, thankfully, there's research being done in the world of atopic dermatitis. So we know more and more about the underlying causes of atopic dermatitis, and there's new treatments that are being looked into every day. Thankfully, it's not just topical steroids anymore, although they still play a role. I certainly grew up in my days as a pediatrician and then a dermatology resident using topical steroids, and then my own kids, who 2 out of 3 are affected with atopic dermatitis. We've often had to calm flares down over the years with topical steroids. But, you know, believe it or not, the adults in the survey said on average they had used 8 different treatments for their atopic dermatitis and were still frustrated. And the kids had used on average 6 different treatments with ongoing frustration.
Wow. And Dr. Browning, as we begin to wrap up, what should our takeaway be today?
Well, I would definitely check out our website, dermavant.com/sleep itch survey, so you can learn not only more about itch, but some of the other results from the survey and realize you're not alone. Also, there's great options about treating atopic dermatitis on the website. And then, of course, always talk to your doctor, and so you can learn more about what your options are.
Well, we appreciate you, Dr. Browning. And before we go, what do you wish we all did better when it came to our skin, taking care of our skin?
Moisturize every day. Use a sunscreen. But even more importantly, when you're outside, you know, wear that hat, wear the sun shirt. Don't go out in the middle of the day if you can help it, because over time, you know, it's not just skin cancer, but it's early aging, it's lines and wrinkles, sunspots. All of those things are a problem. And I love the sun as much as anyone, but I've learned I've got to be careful.